Hey everybody. So I'm gonna talk about like an actual placement. Yeah, I'm just jumping the gun. And I want to talk about Mercury square Pluto in a natal chart. Because I have this and I can speak from experience that it is definitely something, a type of placement, and like obviously depending on where it is and what planet it's in and what house it's in makes a really big difference. But seriously, I'm not even kidding. Like, this is the type of aspect that makes it's like Mercury. So it's your mind, your intellect, how you think, your thoughts. Squaring, so like conflicting Pluto, which is like death, transformation, um, dark, right? Can be a lot of different things. But basically, like, can go to the dark side of any type of thought, of any type of, you're thinking thought, squaring that, right? So you're going to deal with, like, it's like a constant battle of trying to, like, you have to control your mind because otherwise it's like your mind is controlling you. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's literally like something that I feel like I can say, like, if you think of a square and you put it in the mind, like in someone's head, and like turn the square, every corner is gonna like hit a part of like your brain. I don't know why, this is just how I'm gonna explain it. But yeah, so, and why I think of this is because what's happening in my mind when I'm trying to just think about like doing something. I can get so caught up in like thoughts that make my head, like, that spin in my head, and then it makes my like body spin, like, and then it goes to my stomach, and then it turns to like an anxiety, like, and then I've learned to just, when it does that, I have to pull myself into my gut to stop the spinning and like really like calm down. And I've noted that, like, I've done a lot of research too on the aspects of course, but I kind of feel like it's something that, when mastered, is super, super, like, really powerful, actually. Like, I know that, sometimes things can be hard for me to grasp, or it can take a lot of time, but once I master it, I am just like, there's no messing it up. Like, I have the kind of mind that can like grasp something. Like, I might be looking at something and it's like a big puzzle, and then all of a sudden I'll see the whole thing and I'll get it and I'll be like, oh my god, like, it was so simple. But my Mercury is also in Aquarius, and it's in the 5th house. So like that's two fixed, like a sign. Mercury in Aquarius is a fixed sign, and it's an air sign, but it's in the house of Leo. Leo's a fixed sign, but it's fire. So if you take like those two, like it really creates like a solid, fixed way of way the mind is gonna go. And the fact that my Pluto is in Scorpio, which is the water fixed sign, and then it's in the 2nd house, which is the Taurus fixed sign. So my brain is actually like, it's ironic that it's in Mercury's in Aquarius, because Aquarius is quite open-minded, and like, wow, they can also be like, Aquarian is I know, that's their motto, right? So I've worked a lot on my ego, and like, yeah. So anyway, all the squares of every single element of fire, water, earth, and air is fixed in my Mercury square Pluto. So like it's a heavy energy, I would say. It's quite dense, and that's why when it ends up in my body, I have to like really like get into my body and out of my head, like actually like take my hyper focusing like down in there. So it's, you know, it's pretty intense. And it's like my mind is, I would call it's like an ocean. It's like it can be calm and like fine and serene and like right mellow and like everything's okay, or it can be like waves and like almost like I'm like, whoa, like where's all this coming from? And it's pretty powerful, and sometimes it's like, wow. And then once you master it though, it's like you think of a square like in someone's head and it's not moving, like it's freaking solid. Like if it's mastered, like you can like actually, excuse me, I don't know, I feel like you can really, once you master it all, like I feel like it's a lifetime of evolving. That's like why we're here in this, you know, in this incarnation, is because we are here to learn and experience. And that's why we have all these different aspects in our chart. Like I've got a lot of squares and a few conjunctions, but yeah, I'd have to say that Mercury square Pluto is probably one of my most difficult aspects in my natal chart. You know, like it's, I do face a lot of dark, deep, you know, like I've had paranoid thoughts for sure. And I know that that's where it stems from. What else? Pluto being in the second house, like, you know, my mind squaring Pluto in the second house would be like me, you know, like getting in my own way in the mind when it has to do with like expression through like futuristic, I'm trying to get the wording here, like futuristic endeavors through creative expression, squaring Pluto Scorpio. And the second would be like my self-worth. Like I would have a really hard time, and like actually I do, this is something I know that I'm like I deal with, is my self-worth when it comes to like expression and just being able to put that out there, because my mind is so like deep. Like like at half the time, like I can't even explain what's going on. Like that's why I have a very high mental energy, and I have a lot of like a lot of mental energy that I need like connection with people is super important too, like to communicate. But I really love to sing and like play guitar and stuff, but even that, like it's like I can get blocked, and it's really interesting. Like if I'm not in the right mental headspace, it's like I'm like, oh, I can't do this. But you know, I keep getting better because I'm practicing, and I'm, you know, trying to find ways of doing things that get me out of my head so much, because there's a lot of mental energy there. I mean, it doesn't help that my Mercury is my chart ruler. I know some people don't go by chart rulers, but it is, you know, a known thing. So, because my Virgo rising, so that's also a lot of mental energy, and my Gemini MC as well. Also being ruled by Mercury, Gemini is, and so is Virgo. So I have a lot of mental energy in general. Like, it's not like, I don't know. It's been a cool journey though. Just learning how to like, you know, not let that aspect like be a negative thing, and try to see it as like, okay, this is something in my chart that I will blossom. Like over the years, I'll probably transform like over and over again in the way that I think and speak, and what I communicate and how I communicate with people will transform a lot, especially like to do with like my music and stuff, I think, especially once I actually put my stuff out there, which is slowly coming, and it's really exciting. And yeah, I just, wanted to put this out there. I also do like having my Mercury in Aquarius. Like, the good thing about it is it's an air sign, and it kind of helps my Piscean Sun and Venus have a bit of that detachment in like communication and dealing with people. Yeah, this is kind of turning into just like, hey, what's up? Let's talk about astrology and my chart, because I feel like it. But yeah, it's something that I'll, it's like, it can be really hard, the mind maze of somebody that is dealing with that in this lifetime. I gotta say though, I've come a long way, because I used to like run down the rabbit hole in my mind sometimes, but it's getting better. But yeah, thank you for listening.